This story was sent in by Darren from Nevada. He worked nights as a hospital cleaner in a long-term care wing. He said he used to love how quiet it was until the silence started whispering back. You ever walk into a room and feel like you shouldn't be there? Not because anyone told you to leave, not because of what you see, but because of what you feel. That's what it was like with room 6B. I didn't know the man in that bed. I never spoke to him. But I remember his eyes, wide open, not blinking, just staring past me every night like he was watching something over my shoulder. I was only 2 months into the job. It was my first overnight shift at this hospital. Mostly, it was just empty halls and soft beeping from machines. Peaceful, really. Except for 6B. The patient's name was Mr. Kellerman. Late 80s, no visitors, barely moved. The nurses said he was nonverbal, but they didn't say why. The first time I entered the room, I felt off. Not scared, just heavy, like the air was thicker. The light in the corner always flickered, even after maintenance fixed it twice. But the weird part was the chair. There was a visitor chair next to the bed, facing the window. Every night I worked, I'd find it turned slightly, angled toward the bed instead. No one ever sat in it. I asked. The nurses swore they never touched it, said it was probably just me not remembering. So I tested it. One night, after wiping down the surfaces, I lined the chair up perfectly with the corner tile. Made sure it was exact. I came back an hour later. The chair had turned again. Just a little, but not where I left it. It kept happening, every shift. Then came the breathing, not mine, not his, but from the other side of the bed, software, ragged, like someone was crouching just out of sight. I'd step around to check, no one there. Mr. Kellerman would still be lying in bed, staring, silent. One night, I stayed longer than usual, felt this chill crawl up my arms like ice water. I turned to leave and heard something whisper behind me. It said, "You see it now, don't you?" I froze. Slowly looked back. The chair was facing me. Not the bed, not the window, me. I backed out of the room. I didn't clean anything else that night. I tried to tell the charge nurse. She gave me a weird look and said, "You too?" I said, "What do you mean, me too?" She shrugged. "That room's just different. Most of us don't go in alone after dark." She said it like it was nothing, like I should have already known. The next night, 6B was empty. Mr. Kellerman had passed in his sleep. They didn't move someone new in right away. The room stayed empty for a few days. But I kept finding the chair moved. Even with no one in the bed, even with the lights off. It kept turning, like something was still watching. Eventually, they removed the chair altogether. I thought that would stop it, but it didn't. Because the last night I worked there, I walked past 6B and the room was empty. Totally dark. Except for one thing. A single outline in the dust on the floor. The shape of a chair. Exactly where it used to sit. Turned slightly toward the door. This story was sent in by Mike from Oregon, who worked the night shift as a janitor at a small elementary school. He said it was supposed to be easy money, until something happened one Thursday night, and he still doesn't understand what it was. You remember your first job, right? Everyone does. Maybe it was boring. Maybe it was weird. But something about it sticks with you. Me? I'll never forget mine. I was 19, just out of high school. Got hired to clean after hours at this little school outside Eugene. Nothing fancy, just sweeping, mopping, taking out trash. It was quiet, peaceful at first, but you ever notice how buildings feel different at night? Like they're waiting. That's how it felt in there. The walls didn't just echo, they listened. That Thursday started normal. I clocked in at 10 p.m. The hallways were still warm from the day, like the heat hadn't left. By 11:30, I was working my way down the second grade wing, mop in one hand, earbuds in the other. I remember thinking, this is too easy. That's when the hallway lights flickered. Just once. I paused, waited. Nothing else happened. I laughed a little. "Old building," I said out loud. But here's the first weird part. When I turned to keep mopping, one of the classroom doors was open. I swear it had been closed 5 seconds ago. And not just cracked open, wide. No lights on inside, just black. I didn't go in, would you? I kept moving. An hour later, I came back by that room. Door was shut. I told myself maybe I just imagined it. Maybe I was tired, or maybe a draft pushed it open. Then I went into the janitor's closet to dump my mop bucket. When I came out, every single classroom door on the hallway was open. Every one. 10 doors, wide open, like something had walked down the hall and peeked into each room. I froze. My keys were in my cart, my phone too. I was standing there, staring into darkness, trying to decide, do I go grab my stuff or get the hell out now? And then I heard it, drip, drip, coming from the last room at the end of the hall, the one with the broken water fountain. Only that fountain had never dripped before. It had been dry for months. I don't know what made me walk toward it. Curiosity, stupidity. But every step I took, I felt heavier, like I was walking through syrup. The light above that room buzzed, flickered, and then, just as I reached the door, cut out completely. I stood there in the dark. No more dripping, no more sound. Just silence. Then something whispered my name. Not shouted, not moaned. Whispered. Like it was standing right behind me. I didn't turn around, I ran. Left the mop, the cart, my phone, all of it. I didn't go back until morning. The doors were closed. Everything was where it should be. Except the faucet in that last room. It was running, steady, clear. And when I turned it off, the sink was full of dirty water and something else. A single key, not mine, rusty, old, with a plastic tag that just said, "Storage, basement." Our school doesn't have a basement. This next story was sent in by Erica from Pennsylvania. She worked the night shift as a security guard at a small office building downtown. She thought it would just be long hours and bad coffee, until something started watching her. Have you ever worked somewhere that just felt wrong? Not because of the people, not because of the job, just the feeling of it. That's how it was at the office on 12th Street. I only worked there a few months, but it was enough. I can still picture the break room window like it's right in front of me. My shift started at 9 p.m. I did walkthroughs every hour. Most nights I'd see nothing but my own reflection in the glass, but one night I saw something else. Something behind me. And that's when everything changed. It was a Thursday. Rainy, cold. Most of the workers had left by 6 and the building emptied out fast. I made my rounds, checked doors, wrote my notes. At midnight, I sat in the break room to eat. Microwaved noodles. Same as always. The window looked out at the alley. Normally, I could see the dumpsters and the flickering streetlight, but that night, the streetlight was off. And someone was standing there. Not walking, not smoking, just standing. Arms at their sides, face turned directly at the window. I jumped, looked again, gone. I thought maybe it was my reflection. Maybe someone passed by, but no, I'd seen their clothes, dark hoodie, no hood up, no face I could make out. But I swear the eyes were too wide, like they were already inside the room. I checked the alley, no one there. I told myself it was a trick of the glass. Just shadows and stress. Next night, same thing. I sat in the break room, ate my noodles, glanced at the window. There they were again, closer. I blinked, they were gone. The third night, I didn't eat. I just sat, facing the window, waiting. 12:03 a.m. He appeared. Not just standing this time, smiling, eyes wide, head tilted just slightly, like he knew I'd be looking. I didn't move, didn't blink. Then he lifted one hand and tapped the window. But here's the thing. That window doesn't open, and we're on the second floor. I ran to the hallway, called building maintenance. No answer. Called my boss. He said maybe I was tired, told me to take a break. I went home early. Next night I came in and noticed something taped to the break room window. A sticky note. Plain yellow. One word in thick black marker. Hi. I quit 2 days later, but I still drive past that building sometimes. And every now and then, when I look up at the break room window, I think I see someone standing there, just watching. This story was sent in by Sarah from Indiana. She said she never believed in anything paranormal until her 2 sons started sleepwalking in the exact same way, years apart. And what they found during a home renovation made her question everything. I used to think sleepwalking was harmless. Weird, sure. Unsettling, yeah, but not dangerous. That was before I watched both of my sons, years apart, walk into the same hallway wall like they were trying to step through it. The first time it happened, my oldest was about 9. I'm a light sleeper, so I caught it early. I'd wake up and find him standing outside my bedroom, eyes open but blank. He'd shift his weight from foot to foot, mumbling things I couldn't understand. I'd gently guide him back to bed. He never remembered it the next morning. It happened maybe 5 or 6 times, always in the hallway, always in front of the same section of wall. I chalked it up to sleepwalking. Kids go through phases. That's what I told myself. He outgrew it, years passed, then it started again, not with him, but with his younger brother. Same age, same hallway, same strange behavior. One night, I woke up to this soft tapping sound. I thought maybe it was raining. But when I listened closely, I realized it wasn't coming from outside, it was coming from the hallway. I stepped out and saw him, forehead pressed gently against the wall, tapping it over and over in a slow, steady rhythm. His fingers brushed the wall too, like he was trying to feel for something hidden. I whispered his name. He didn't answer, just kept knocking, like he was asking the wall for permission to come through. When I touched his shoulder, he blinked and let me guide him back to bed. No memory in the morning, and that's when it hit me. This wasn't just sleepwalking. This was the same behavior, same spot, same rhythm. Exactly what his brother had done years earlier, but he had never seen it, never heard about it. He couldn't have known, and yet, it was like he was following instructions from something neither of us could see. Eventually, he outgrew it too. The sleepwalking stopped. Life moved on, until a few weeks ago. We decided to renovate the hallway. New floors, fresh paint, strip the old wallpaper. Nothing fancy. But when we peeled back the wallpaper on that wall, the one both boys had walked into, we found something. An old mirror, built into the wall, covered, sealed away. I stared at it, frozen. It was antique style, worn, cracked along the edges. The kind of mirror that feels older than the house itself. But here's the thing that still gives me chills. That mirror. It was positioned exactly where both of my sons had stood, where they tapped, where they whispered. They couldn't have known it was there, it was hidden, but they went to it anyway, like they were drawn to it. I ripped the mirror out that same day, threw it away, hoped that would be the end of it. But sometimes, when the hallway's quiet, I swear I still hear that soft tapping, and I can't help but wonder, what if that mirror wasn't just glass? What if it was a doorway,